Good morning, all of you. Now I am going to discuss about data acquisition systems. So, what is this meaning of data acquisition? That means acquisition means you need to store the data for the future purpose. So, this is how you are going to store. That is nothing but the data acquisition system. So, the definition of data acquisition system is like this. So, it is the process of sampling signals that measure real world physical conditions and converting the resulting samples into digital numeric values that can be manipulated by a computer. That means the signals that are sampled that are to be stored in a computer for future purpose is nothing but the data acquisition system. So the data acquisition system are used to measure and record analog signals in basically two different ways. So this DAS it uses two different ways. Those are signals which originates from direct measurement of electrical quantities and signals which originate from use of transducers. So you can directly measure the quantity and after measuring the quantity, what are the signals obtained? For that you can use the DAS, or also you can use the signals which are coming from the transducers. That means other than electrical signals are converted into a physical quantity are converted into electrical signals, and those electrical signals can also be used to measure and record the analog signals. So this is nothing but the DAS. So either an electrical signal of direct measurement can be used or any other physical signal can be used. Likewise, the speed, angular position, or some other footsteps speed. So like that, any type of signal can be used here. So what is the need of this digital data acquisition system? So conversions to digitalized system. That means finally the data will be stored in the form of digital. That means in this computer it is going to store so that this can be used for any purpose and for accurate system. As it is done by the calculations are done by the computers, so the calculations are very accurate. So there is no point of error here, and low cost system, and the system is also having less cost for simple to implement of complex circuits. So instead of having complex circuit, the circuit is becomes very simple, and for faster information, as the computers are very speed, so the information can be processed in a very small time. Effective instrumentation development, and also instrumentation development is also effective. And the different types of digital acquisition data acquisition systems are: one is analog DAS, digital DAS, modern digital DAS. So what are these analog digital and modern digital DAS? We shall discuss one by one. Coming to the first one, analog DAS. So this analog DAS consists of the following elements. First one is the transducers, second one is the signal conditioning, third one multiplexer, calibrating system, integrating system, display devices, analog recorders, analog computers. So these are properly arranged like this in the block diagram. So this is the block diagram of the analog DAS. So whatever the input signal which you are going to measure, that is given to the transducer. So what does this transducer does is it will convert the signal. It will um, take the signal and convert into the sends the signal, and it will convert to the electrical signal. So that electrical signal is conditioned by using the signal conditioner. So conditioned means the signal obtained from the transducer is of very weak signal, might be, or it has any some harmonics. So if it has some harmonics, it will filterize the data, or if it is weak, it will amplify the data. So everything is done by the signal conditioner. So after conditioning, it is given to the multiplexer. So what does this multiplexer does? So multiplexer means it can take any number of inputs. It can take any number of inputs. Suppose here we are indicating only one arrow mark. That means only one input. Likewise, if you want to use multiple input, you can use multiple inputs to the transducer so that multiple signals are coming here. Those multiple signals are given to the multiplexer so that only one output signal can be obtained. So what is the use of this multiplexer means only instead of having different channels, only by using one channel you can transmit the data. You can transmit the data. So after getting the output to signal, this can be displayed on the visual display, or if you want to record, you can use a graphic recorder here so that the readings can be recorded, or you can use a magnetic recorder also to record the values. So likewise, this is as the data is in the form of analog, so this is called as analog data acquisition system. Okay, this is about the analog data acquisition system. Now let us discuss about the digital data acquisition system. So previously the data is in the form of analog data, so it is called as analog digital data acquisition system. Here the data will be in the form of digital, that means either zeros or ones. So that is done by the A to D converter here. Analog data is converted into digital data here. So this is the main part here. And the remaining part will be similar to the analog DAS. So here the input signal is given to the transducer. So this transducer will send the input signal and it will give to the signal conditioner. So what does the signal conditioner does? The signal conditioner will amplify or filterize or linearize the data whatever required. It is done by the signal conditioner. After conditioning the data, it is given to the multiplexer. So several inputs are there. These several inputs are given to the multiplexer so that you will be getting only one output. So that is given to the signal converter here. So it will convert the data into the analog data. The obtained analog data is converted into digital data by using the A to D converter. So that the digital data is available now. If you want to record that one, you can use the digital recorder here. So to process all these four blocks, you need a programmer here. So this programmer will send the signal which has to be operated, or if any of these four blocks requires any information that can be get from this programmer block. So this is a computer. So this will be having so much of data. So or if at what time which block has to operate. So everything will be stored in this programmer. Next one is this is about the digital data acquisition system. So the obtained data is in the form of digital data. So it is called digital data acquisition system. Next one is modern digital DAS. Modern digital DAS means, so it is an advanced property of the digital data acquisition system. So what is the advanced features are? So initially input is given to the transducer and that from the output signal, electrical signal is amplified by using the amplifier, and if there are any harmonics that is filtered by this active filter, and this is given to the multiplexer, so analog multiplexer. So this multiplexer will take several number of inputs and provide only one output that is given to the sample hold system. So what does the sample hold system does? So it will hold the data until the previous data has been sampled. Previous data has been sampled and it will provide it to the A to D converter. It will provide it to the A to D converter. So that the analog data is converted into the digital data and the digital data is given to the computer bus. So to operate this analog multiplexer or sample and hold system or A to D converter, you need a program sequencer. Program sequencer. So that it can be processed properly. So the main advantage of this modern digital data acquisition system is you are using a sample and hold system. So the sample and hold system will properly hold the signal till the previous signal has been processed. Only after the previous signal has been processed, then only the next signal will be placed on the queue, so that the data will not be merged. So we will not lose the data, or mix up of data will be not be happening. Yeah, the advantages. What are the advantages of this data acquisition system are, so reduced data redundancy, reduced updating errors and increased consistency, greater data integrity and independence from applications programs. Next one, improved data access to users through use of host and query languages, improved data security, reduced data entry, storage and retrieval costs, facilitated development of new applications program. So these are the advantages of data acquisition system. And what are the disadvantages of this data acquisition system are? So the database systems are complex, difficult and time consuming to design. So to design that database system, it is not that much easy, and this has to be done by some software people only. So it is very complex and difficult and time consuming to design. Once it is designed, then it is very easy to use it. So that the drawback is first initial process only. It is time consuming. Next one, substantial hardware and software startup cost. So hardware and software, initially the cost of the system is very much high. Next, damage to the database affects virtually all application programs. So if the database is affected, then all other applications which are running on the database will also be impacted. Next one, extensive conversion costs in moving from a file-based system to a database system. So if we want to convert one file to other file, then the used cost required is very much high. And initial training required for all programmers and users. So it is a software and it is a computer. All of the staff who are going to programmers and users who are going to work on that application needs to be trained initially. So this is also a time consuming and also cost also. Okay, these are some of the disadvantages. Okay, this is about the data acquisition system.